The old YouTube is going viral again. This is from Fizzy Banger. Can't wait to see what we're talking about here. Let's get right into the video.
There is a YouTuber named Nico who has tapped into something that YouTube has been missing for a very long time. He has delivered content to an audience that has been longing for the old school way of YouTube videos.
So in content, really in life, everything is cyclical. Everything happens in a circle. What is now a trend will soon not be a trend, and then at some point it will be a trend again. YouTube and content in general has gone through this as well. I really started watching YouTube, really started consuming a lot of YouTube videos and YouTube creators probably around 2012, 2013. And so I've seen quite a few of these phases. And I think the phase that he's talking about that's going away is the phase of like hyper editing, very short, lots of like graphics popping off on the screen, explosions and sound effects and all of that, heavy text thumbnails that look like, all hell is breaking loose on the thumbnail. There's explosions and faces, and we've all seen the thumbnails, right? So that is kind of going away, and what's coming back now is this longer form, less editing style of videos that people seem to like. And I have an idea of why that is, and I think it's because how they consume the videos are different. And maybe let me know in the comments below if you agree with this, and or if you're, if you kind of consume the videos the way that I'm talking about. How many of you watch or have YouTube up and have a YouTube video playing while you're driving, and you're not even watching the screen? You're just listening to the audio. How many of you have a YouTube video playing while you're doing a chore, washing the dishes, doing laundry, and the video is playing in the background? How many of you have a YouTube video playing while you're eating dinner and the audio is just there? That is kind of the new style. And what doesn't fit that new style of consumerism is a 4-minute hyper edited video, because you're not even seeing the screen. And if it's 4 minutes long, if it's 3 minutes long, if it's 2 minutes long, all you're really hearing is videos stopping, ads playing, videos starting, ads playing. You want something that's going to take up a chunk of time that can be background noise, and that's how I think a lot of people are watching YouTube now versus, basically watching a Vine or a YouTube short.
And by doing this, he has gone crazy viral. I mean, if we look at his channel right now, it's at 41,000 subscribers, and one of his videos just ticked over 400,000 views, which is really impressive. I reckon it could still go further, because I think there are still many more people who would be really interested in the storytelling content that Nico creates. But while he is putting authenticity and simplistic content back into the frame of the YouTube platform, there have also been people who have started to copy his videos, with some channels even telling the same stories with the same.
So I don't watch Minecraft content. I've never played Minecraft, but I know that there's a lot of YouTubers that do this in a lot of different spaces. A YouTuber like Sam Sulek in the fitness space, his videos are very lightly edited, long form. The thumbnails are very might not even be edited, and he's kind of exploding out of the fitness industry space. So it's working in a bunch of different niches. It's working in a bunch of different areas where this style is popping off. And it makes me think about, I stopped doing YouTube and started doing streaming probably around 2017-ish. And I did that hardcore for a couple of years. I loved streaming because I felt like it was so much more authentic, and it was so much more of a true reflection of the creator. Anyone can hide behind memes or graphics or sound effects or video effects in a 4-minute video. You can have the least amount of personality possible, but you can edit it to where you look like, you're like the most high energy, great person there is. We saw that a lot when Vine and TikTok popped off. When Jake Paul, Logan Paul, Rice Gum, people like that were huge, we would see them jump on the screen. They were freaking out, screaming. The camera was shaking. It was 2 minutes, heavy cuts all over the place.
Today, Jake Paulers or Paul Jakers,
Can we do that?
Shit! I drink so much coffee!
Okay, so I really need the toilet! Yes! 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 Yes!
Blueberry, da.
Oh, no, I'm a strawberry.
Then the video's over, right? But then you would watch their live stream, and it would be long pauses and no conversation. There'd be very little personality there. So when you're hiding behind all those graphics, to me, that's the most non-authentic version of a creator, where streaming is totally unedited. I loved streaming. I loved it. It was my favorite form of creating. YouTube now is way closer to that, where back then you were shooting for like a 2-minute video. Now people want to watch an hour-long video. They want to watch a 45-minute long, basically a discussion, and the creator has way more emphasis on their personality and how much they can connect during a video.
Same thumbnails and titles, which I know it's ironic because I'm using the exact same style as well to make a case study on old school YouTube. And obviously 100% credit to Nico, because without him, I simply wouldn't be making this video. You see, I love to make content about YouTuber success stories. I'm always doing it for the Minecraft community, and that's the reason why Nico has hit my radar, is because he has Minecraft gameplay in his videos. But the truth is, I just love talking about these stories because it inspires me to make more content, and I know by sharing these stories on my platform, I'm going to inspire more people to take notes and perhaps start their own YouTube channels. That's all I really care about on this channel, is to
Yeah, I would say right now is probably the easiest time to get into YouTube because it's the least amount of barrier of entry. Before, it was really hard to make a YouTube video that was super highly edited, and you had to have like all this graphical ability and sound effects and all that stuff. But now, as long as your personality is good, or as long as what you're filming, what you're putting out there has merit and it is serving an audience, it has a chance. Before it really didn't, because before you had to basically be Jerry Bruckheimer and like filming, Mission Impossible 7. You had to have so much of that going on. But now we're seeing way more people pop up who are just generally good in their space, whether it's someone who's giving great workout tips, or someone who is very knowledgeable in sports, or someone who is really good at a game, and they're just showing the raw. And I'm not saying that editing is bad. Like, editing has a time and a place. Making a video better through editing is fine. But over editing to trick the audience, or, to make that the main course, editing and graphics and effects and all that should be like the sauce on the meal. It shouldn't be the meal. The meal should be the content. The meal should be the creator, the video itself. That's what should be keeping you there, not the every 2 seconds something's happening.
To inspire people. So that's why I've taken Nico's storytelling style, and it's why I'm going to be talking extensively about the style that he's bringing to the platform, because it's refreshing. It's refreshing to see this type of content back on the platform. Now, I've been doing YouTube for many years. I've changed my style many times over those many years, and I can definitely say that in the beginning, years ago, honestly, it blows my mind how far away it's been since I used to make YouTube videos like this, but it was so simple. I remember just recording Minecraft for like 15 minutes and not even editing it, or even if I did, it would be in Windows Movie Maker. It was a very simple time. I would just upload content for the sake of it, and I wasn't thinking about retention. I wasn't thinking about click-through rates on the thumbnails and trying to hyper optimize every little detail of my content. I just made videos.
But isn't it interesting though, because if you do get lost in that world, right? If you get lost in retention editing or click-through rate with your thumbnails, that's what leads people to these over-processed thumbnails. And it leads people to these like, okay, this thumbnail has to have a green arrow. This thumbnail has to have, a person with his mouth open looking exciting. This person has to have this thumbnail has to have an explosion. This thumbnail has to have this. This thumbnail has to stand out. And if every single person is doing that, nothing's standing out. Like, the best thing you can do currently in content, whether it's on YouTube or Twitch or TikTok or Instagram or whatever, the best thing you can do is be you. The worst thing you can do is try and be like everyone else. The worst thing you can do is say, I'm going to do Call of Duty videos, and I'm going to do them the exact same way that Nick Merckx is doing them, or I'm going to do the same way that Nadeshot's doing them, or whoever. Like, do you. And we're seeing now all these unique creators coming out that are just them. People want to see authenticity. And that is the best part of content creation, especially now, because no matter what your niche is, no matter what your hobby is, no matter what you're into, there are other people that are into it too. If you're the biggest Dungeons and Dragons fan there is, the more you lean into that and the more authentic you are and the more you show that you are an individual who cares and has something to contribute, the better chance you have. That's what makes content creation beautiful, is that there's a space for everybody. And the best thing to do is just be you.
It was really, really fun. But that all disappeared. That all faded away when YouTube started to become this platform where you needed to optimize. Everything was being commercialized. Advertisers wanted content to be more ad-friendly and also highly retentive. They wanted to make sure that content just captured people's attention for long periods of time so that viewers would end up seeing more ads. That's how YouTube works, and in a way, it still works like that. And honestly, this mentality of trying to optimize every little detail of my content and make sure that every frame is edited perfectly so that people don't click off my video and so I can get the highest retention possible, it was really exhausting. I couldn't stand it, honestly. And that's why 7 months.
But that's a horrible way. It's a horrible way to think of it and start. And I'm agreeing with him. I think that's a horrible way for people to start when they shouldn't be thinking about that. You know, like they shouldn't be thinking. Like it'd almost be like if you opened or if you did like a food truck or something, and before you worried about making the food taste good, you were worrying about like profit margins. You were worrying about like being, ad friendly, and you were worried about all that stuff. You need to worry about the meat and potatoes, no pun intended. You need to worry about what you're putting out there. Can you be consistent? Is the quality good enough? You should be worried about that way before you're worried about how do I get to 70% retention rate? How do I get to a 25% click-through rate? I mean, I have people all the time who reach out and they ask like, how did you grow an audience on YouTube? Or how much money do you make on YouTube? Or how do you do this? How do you monetize your videos? How does this happen? How does that happen? And I tell them all the same thing. I say, I did it for 10 years and I got less than 10 views a video and I had less than 500 subscribers. I never even thought about monetization or click-through rate or any of that stuff. I was just making content, and through reps and through consistency and through finding your own niches and all that stuff, you either build an audience because of your personality and what you're contributing, or you don't. But worrying about the business aspect of it is the last thing you should worry about. You shouldn't worry about the business aspect until you're actually a business, I think. Until your channel is big enough to where you do need to focus on those things, why focus on them? I didn't monetize my main channel for years when I could because I didn't want ads on my videos. I was way more concerned about, I want people to watch my videos, and I know ads is a chance for people to click off of the video. So I was totally fine with not making 30 cents a video or whatever it was at the time to just make the quality better. When people ask, how do I grow an audience streaming? I always tell them the same thing. Stream every day, once a day for 30 straight days, and then get back to me. And usually what happens is around day 3, they're done. They don't want to stream anymore. So they need to, or same with videos, like make one video a day for 14 straight days. Do that, and then we'll talk. But if you can't do that, there's no reason worrying about click-through rate or impressions or how to maximize your monetization.
Months ago, I just stopped making videos. I just decided that I couldn't do this anymore because every time I would come up with a video idea that I was passionate about, there would be this little part of me that is sort of the manifestation of the current era of YouTube just in my head going, you didn't get the retention properly, you're not going to get many clicks on this video, the thumbnail and the title are bad, the music choices are bad, the transitions, the frames are not edited perfectly, and you just get in your head. You just can't escape it. And it made me throw away really good videos I was passionate about, just because I thought the YouTube algorithm wouldn't give me a chance. And it's really sad to think about it. And I wonder how many other people who've started YouTube who go through that phase.
The best advice I ever got or ever saw was replace the word algorithm with audience. If you do that, it completely changes how you look at YouTube. Instead of saying, how can I get the algorithm to push my video? You say, how do I get the audience to watch my video? So thinking about the audience, thinking about you as a creator, thinking about what you're passionate about. I like to think of YouTube and all the mediums as kind of almost like a photo library or like a journal. I recently, so I have my main channel, and then I recently started a gaming channel, a wrestling channel, this reacts channel, and some other stuff. Even if those channels don't work, I like the idea of a year from now going back and being able to watch, oh yeah, I remember when I played Cyberpunk. Here's a video of that. I remember when I played Sea of Thieves. Here's a video of that. I remember when I played that Madden 24. I remember when I was doing this. Oh, look, here's a video. It's almost like it's just fun to have. It's like a collection. It's just enjoyable. Same if I did like travel vlogs, just almost like a journal of your adventure and just a snapshot in time. That's where your head should be at the beginning, and really even throughout. It shouldn't be, max playing this game so that I can monetize the videos, because more than likely, if that's where your heart is, it's going to come through, and you're not going to be authentic, and the audience will notice.
Phase of not knowing what to do because they think that what they want to do is not what YouTube wants, and it's not what people want to watch. It's a very, very difficult thing to break through. But the reason why I'm back making videos is because I was up at 3 in the morning one night and I had a terrible sleep schedule, so that's why I was just scrolling through YouTube, just doom scrolling my way through content, and magically on my feed I found one of Nico's videos, and I looked at it and I just stared at the thumbnail and the title and how many views it had, because you could see that on the homepage. It had a lot of views already. It was really surprising to see a video with minimal editing and a minimal style title and thumbnail do so well. It completely shattered my worldview of how content is meant to be on the platform. For years, I spent so long optimizing and making sure that the viewer was more like a metric that I was trying to boost, and I was not treating the viewer as a human being who wanted to be entertained and wanted to receive value from the content that I created.
Exactly. And I think what really changed is when YouTube started to compartmentalize topics. So if you remember back, let's say 10 years ago, YouTube channels would just be a channel, and then there's no telling what you would find on the channel. So if you had like a creator, let's just say Jake Paul. Jake Paul's channel, one video could be him vlogging, one video could be him trying a new product. One video could be a travel thing. One video could be a workout. One video could be gaming. You didn't know what was happening. You were just watching the channel for the person, the celebrity or whatever, and they're like 4 minutes what they were posting, right? Now it's all compartmentalized. So where if you want Jurassic Park content, there's a YouTube channel that just does Jurassic Park content. If you want Dragon Ball Z content, there's a channel that just does Dragon Ball Z content. Same for FIFA and Call of Duty and Fortnite and whatever else. So when you're doing it that way, the topic becomes the main focus. The content becomes the main focus. The creator's job now is to give you something of merit, to give you something of value. The creator's job isn't to, just give you a 3 minute, 3 minutes of just hype, basically. It's to give you something that you kind of sink your teeth into. And because of that shift, that compartmentalization, because of that opened YouTube up to more of this like story-driven content, more of this like video essay kind of content, more of this long-form discussion, because that's what people want when they're searching out these topics. Now, of course, there's still room for a creator-driven channel where the content is the creator, the content is the personality, the content is the person, and then the audience really doesn't care what they're doing. And that's totally fine too. But before, that dominated the YouTube space. And what also I think fleshed that out was there's other mediums now for that kind of content. So if you want that kind of content, that creator-driven, the personality-driven, the short-form stuff, you can find that on TikTok or YouTube Shorts or Instagram Reels or Twitter. There's other ways to find it. So that compartmentalization, along with the topic compartmentalization, all has led to this version of storytelling.
Created. And it was after seeing how successful Nico was that it made me look into YouTube more deeply. Clearly, the algorithm had figured out perfectly that this was the video I needed to see at that exact moment. And I know that this isn't the first channel to do this type of content. I remember watching a YouTube channel named Flow State. It was a while ago that I saw his channel on my feed as well. And he was in the same space of combining storytelling with Minecraft gameplay. And there were some very relaxing videos on his channel, and it went viral as well. You see, this content is like a well-needed break from all the noise on the platform. By noise, I mean all the content that just feels the same. In the Minecraft community especially, I could find thousands of videos that all follow the same format, with the same editing style, and in all honesty, the same obnoxious, overhyped personality. I didn't mean to make this a diss on Minecraft YouTubers, but...
Yeah, but I don't think it's a diss at all. Like, when we're talking about, I'm giving examples of thumbnails or whatever else. I don't think it's a diss. It's just an example of a trend that is changing. Food is going through the same thing. I don't even mean food on YouTube, just food in general. Remember, probably about 5-6 years ago, food and restaurants kind of had that big trend where everything wanted to be this like avant-garde, like I'm eating rabbit feet, or I'm eating frog tongue, or I'm eating ants on a log with Peruvian honey dripped over the top. Like, we saw all these restaurants like Rene Redzepi, what was it called, Noma or something like that, I think. But all those restaurants started popping up, and then now people just want good food. It swung the complete other direction where people don't want to go to a 17-course tasting menu where they're eating things that are barely even food. They want to go to a old school steakhouse and have a cut of steak. They want a very simple food now. So this trend happens throughout all content, throughout all mediums, throughout all niches, even outside of content. Like I said, with food, art, television, movies, things like that. People will swing from what they want to a new thing in a couple of years. It happens all the time. And this is a great example of that.
Honestly, a lot of Minecraft videos are so overly energetic for the sake of appealing to the younger audiences, and yeah, it's obnoxious. I much rather the slowed down style of content, and I'm glad it's becoming a trend to be nostalgic and to have a more toned down, genuine personality. I'm especially glad that the algorithm, for all the drama and the negative attention that it gets, has started to care about storytelling more than retention. I said before that there are other...
But they're kind of the same, all right? So, like I was talking about, those super over-energetic, hype beast style of videos, those only could exist for like 3 or 4 minutes, because you can't watch that for a long period of time. It's too intense. There's too much happening. Like, I react to a lot of videos, and when some videos are like over-edited and the camera's constantly shaking, or there's constantly flashing lights or transitions, or scenes are sweeping in, and then I'll zoom this way. I feel like I'm on like a motion ride. I feel like I'm just like, man, what the hell is going on here? I'm getting lost in the transitions. That's easy to do and easy to ingest in a 3-minute video. It's very difficult to watch that for 15 minutes, for 20 minutes. People will feel overwhelmed. That's the exact same thing as what YouTube wants, right? YouTube wants long watch videos. Well, a long watch video is more than likely going to be kind of a more relaxed, more discussion, long form storytelling style video. It's more likely to be that than the hype beast video, because the hype beast video will just kind of wear somebody out. So it is kind of the same thing, where that retention editing style is good for a couple of minutes, but the long form, slowed down, relaxed is good for 30-40 minutes of watch time, which if YouTube wants that, they're obviously going to err more towards those long form, slower. And there's nothing wrong with energy. There's nothing wrong with energy in a video. It's when you're trying to, a good way to put it is, nowadays a video should inform, a video shouldn't distract. And before it was kind of the opposite, where it was just a distraction for 2 minutes, 3 minutes. But now it's more of a informational based video.
The YouTubers using Nico's exact style, and while that does bring into question their originality, it's also a really good thing that more of this content is being made. It would be better if people tried to add something to the style instead of pretending like they weren't copying Nico to begin with, but more old school YouTube videos is what this platform needs. It's what people have honestly deserved after years of mind-numbing content that failed to bring value to the viewers. In just the past year, the algorithm has improved to a point where traditional content can break through to the homepage. You don't have to feel so boxed in as a YouTuber. You can try different things as long as you have a genuine personality and a genuine style of content. And
exactly. I mean, it's the most stripped down version of content creation I think YouTube's ever seen. The drawback to that is that the magnifying glass is on the creator so much. So if you just don't have it, if you can't deliver 30 minutes or 20 minutes or 15 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever of long form storytelling, if you can't deliver that, the audience isn't going to watch. The audience isn't, again, anybody can get a 2-minute video, throw enough special effects and stuff in there to where the audience may get tricked into watching it. Not everybody can give you 20, 30 minutes on a topic or discussion or whatever and keep an audience engaged. That's very difficult. So it is easier to get into creation. It's harder, I think, to excel at creation right now. And the copying thing, that also I think is a bad rap. Copying is obviously not good, but people doing the same thing, there's no surprise in that. If you look at something like late night television, you could say Jimmy Kimmel is copying Jimmy Fallon, who's copying David Letterman, who's copying Jay Leno, who's copying Johnny Carson, right? They're all doing the exact same thing. The show is the exact same. There's a sidekick, there's a desk, there's a band, there's an audience. You talk about the news, you do interviews. Like late night television, there's been 6 or 7 options going at any time for the last 60, 70 years. Are they copying each other? Kinda, but they're really just in the same space. If you're playing Minecraft, for example, and commenting over a Minecraft video, if multiple people are doing that, it's just more people just in the same space. It's more of that than it is copying. Like, is McDonald's copying Burger King because they all serve combo meals and burgers and fries? No. I mean, maybe there's some similarities, but it's not a tried and true copy. Now, obviously, if a creator is dressing the same as someone and talking the same as someone, using the same songs and using the same logos and all that is probably more copying. But just because 2 people are doing parallel things in the same space doesn't mean they're copying each other.
Honestly, I don't know if this video that I'm making right now will actually do well, but knowing that the algorithm is more likely to give me a chance is what's inspiring me to make this video. So if you've always wanted to make YouTube videos, now's the perfect time to do it.
Yeah,
Nico
it
is just one success story, and I'm sure there'll be many more now that all this hype around flashy editing and over-the-top personalities has started to die down. I'm personally still going to put 110% into every video I make. I've always been doing that on this channel, and it's going to be hard for me to let go of the style that I've created, especially since I'm getting good at editing these videos now.
But that's another kind of falsity, is the idea that low editing is low effort, because that's not true. Editing for the sake of editing is problematic. You don't have to edit to show or put graphics or do all this crazy stuff. You don't have to do that to show that you're putting forth your effort or putting forth care. They're not synonymous. It's not the more you edit a video doesn't mean you're putting more effort into a video. It could be the opposite. It could be like you gave low effort in filming it, so you're going to try and mask that with over editing. So don't get trapped in that either, where if not editing at all. Some of my best videos are me editing the beginning and me editing the end, just trimming the end and the beginning. That's it. And those are some of the most engaging videos, where I have the most comments and the most likes and the most watch through rate and click through rate and all that stuff. And it might have taken me an hour to film, and it might have taken me 2 minutes to edit, and it's a 45-minute video that did really well. So the effort is not the same as editing. So if you're a creator, don't get those two confused.
But I'm going to try and be more human in my videos. I'm not going to be this person who's just, stiffly reading out scripts and then using flashy editing to cover it up. I think it's more important now than ever that I try to be genuine, and
Yeah.
I have been doing that for as long as I can remember on this channel. I know that maybe that sounds like me just talking myself up, but I feel like I could be more genuine than I have been in the past. So that's all I wanted to say. And
Yeah, I mean, I wish I still had some of my old like FIFA videos, because I was trying to do what everyone else was doing. I was trying to be this like super energetic, super out of control, 4-minute video kind of guy, and that's just not me. Some people like rage streamers on video games. Like some people think you have to rage to get clicks. If that's not who you are, videos of you fake raging just to rage is going to be so cringy, and no one's going to watch it. If you are someone who does rage and is funny or whatever, and that's just part of you, then people will watch it. But and that's where I think streaming for me really opened up a new world of creation, because I didn't have to be this character. I didn't have to be a clown. I didn't have to be hyped out of control on a video in order for it to be good. I could just kind of be me, and that was enough for the stream. And those like real interactions with chat and real friendships and real engagements, that's what carried the stream. And then that's when I realized this is the move. This is the way forward. It's not me trying to, be this character that I think people want to see in gaming or whatever it is. At the streaming at the time was gaming, but most of my videos is just this. Most of my videos are reactions and analysis and commentary. There is gaming involved. There is whatever else involved in some of the channels, but mostly it's just sharing kind of this commentary. And it's so funny to think about, because that's what I've always wanted to do, and what I've always enjoyed doing was just conversation, was just discussions and getting into a topic and going back and forth with somebody. And that's what I wanted to bring to the content space. I wanted to bring like the talk radio kind of vibe to YouTube. Somehow that got mixed, that got warped into being whatever it was at the time, a FIFA YouTuber trying to do all this like sound effects and video effects and all of that, when it's not who I am as a person. That's not why I started doing this in the first place. So, but all of that to say, all those reps just helped me find myself. It just helped me be me more authentically. And that's when channels started to do really well, and everything started to work out. So that goes back to my main point of just be yourself. Just do. I've always said, if 10 people are telling you that your videos are good, you can get to 100 people telling you that. You can get to 1,000 people telling you that. You just need like 10 of a group. If your topic is Minecraft and you put a video out there and 10 Minecraft consumers are saying, I like this a lot, more than likely there's something there. More than likely there's something good. Refine it, lean into it, and that 10 will turn into 100, which will turn into 1,000, which will turn into 10,000. So if no one is telling you it's good, yeah, it's probably time to take a step back and figure out what's going on. So it's time. It's a good time of YouTube. It's a good time of content creation for sure. Great video, great discussion, great topic. Really enjoyed this. So go down below, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts on this are. Give me some highlights or some moments in time you remember of YouTube that kind of did this like hype beast vibe. Or let me know some creators you like who do the opposite now, who kind of swing the other way, and they're doing this like long form kind of simple style. Thank you very much. I will see you in the next video.